Okay, I've received an inquiry from a person who's living in a shared house. Okay, so this is someone living in a room. There's other people there as well. They make a bit of noise. There's wooden floorboards which creak and the rest of it. So trying to achieve meditation under these circumstances is in fact very, very, very difficult. This is a serious problem from anyone who wants to be an experimental occultist or anyone who wants to look into the possibility of trying to reach some kind of altered state of consciousness as a result of meditation, ritual activity and all the rest of that. It is a serious issue. And it's not necessarily one that can be overcome overnight. So we've got to accept that and we've got to work with that because you're dealing with people. You can't say, look, can you guys please shut the hell up because I want to do my weird religious bit right now. It just doesn't quite work that way. For some people, they find that actually joining a separate meditation organization, like a meditation circle, can actually help them to at least once a week get into that particular state. For some other people, they go to the local library and they may sit down in the library with a book in front of them so it looks like they're reading. But essentially what they're doing is having their eyes half closed and going into a bit of a dream world meditation. That's what some people actually do, so I understand. Other people, if the weather is fine, they go out into the countryside, they take with them, let's say, a blanket and a thermos flask of tea and a book, alright? They would find a comfortable spot in a place where it is socially appropriate to be able to sit down and have a picnic. And they would lay down the blanket and sit down as if they were just going to have their tea and read their book. And essentially what they're doing is using that as an excuse to get out of the house and thus to be able to, achieve their meditative state that way. As far as ritual practice is concerned, you don't necessarily want to do it outside. There's all kinds of people out there on the internet who said, oh, well, I went out to this special place to do this ritual outside. Yeah, and what if someone's walking their dog, past that part of the world? It looks bad. So I wouldn't recommend you do that. It'll make you known as being an idiot in your local area, so that's out of the question. But one thing you could do if you wanted to do more ritual is do the more, some people say astrally, namely within visualization, rather than necessarily within action. That takes more practice with visualization, but it can be done. I used to know this individual who had a very complex, very elaborate temple, so to speak, which was created purely through visualization itself. And in it he would have places where, he would be manipulating objects on an altar, lighting candles, doing full Gothic type or Goetic type invocations and evocations, communications with angel spirits and all the rest of that, had a magic mirror set up for the purposes of communicating with the spirit world, and so on and so forth. So there's ways and means of achieving this, even if you are in a restricted environment. But it's not going to be quite so easy as if you are, or you have the luxury of living alone with no one to disturb you, basically nothing else getting in the way, and being able to just do anything when you wanted to. So unfortunately you've got to work within the limitations that your circumstances have provided you with. But think about using the library as a place where you can sit down quietly, going out into the countryside and sitting down as if you're having a picnic. Alright, maybe having a little sandwich box and your flask of tea and have a book in your hand, so you're doing all the things which society says you should be doing if you're going out to have a picnic. And just sit there with your eyes closed, gazing at the book for a while and seeing what happens. Those are suggestions I would provide, and maybe give them a go. It can be difficult when you're living with people who aren't necessarily in tune with the sort of ideas that you personally want to be in tune with. But give these things a go, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get somewhere eventually.